أهلين باشمهندس.
يا مرحبا أخ محمود. مهندس،
أهلين
كيف
أهلين.
صحتك حج؟
الله يسلمك، الحمد لله والله، الله يخليك يا رب.
الله يخليك إن شاء الله.
الله يخليك.
احنا خلينا بس ننتظر شوي يجوا الشباب.
أوري، هاي في الأخ محمد دخل برضو، أخ طارق.
نعم.
أورايت.
كيف حالك أخي محمد؟
اهلا اهلا، كيفك؟
تمام تمام، شو أخبارك أنت؟
جد كله تمام.
تمام، بس ننتظر شوية يا أخ محمد. كيف أمورك أنت؟ إن شاء الله تمام.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you.
كيف الجو بدبي؟
والله شوب مش طبيعي الجو.
سيم هير الحقيقة.
قصدك دافية دبي.
يلا، ممتاز ممتاز.
دافية وخلاص، ما تقولش قديش الحرارة. دافية.
لا والله، يعني هلا بالأردن يعني حتى الاي سي لا بالسيارة ولا بالبيوت عم بجاوب.
لا يا ذا الأردن كويسة، درجة حرارة 30 صار لها أسبوعين.
طيب
ممتازة.
30 شو اتس تو ماتش.
شو تو ماتش 30 بيرفكت. يعني المغرب بتصير 27 28.
اه
الصبح بتكون 22 بعد الفجر، مرات بتكون 20.
يا هو بالليل، لا بالليل الجو حلو والصبح الجو
لا
حلو،
رائع،
بس during
طبعا.
the day الحقيقة صعب شوي. يعني صرت
هو
تحس حالك بالخليج انه
إذا بتطلع
تكون اندورز.
بالشمس، إذا بتطلع بالشمس حارة. بس
مظبوط.
هاي يعني الجو فيه هواء، ابعد عن الشمس بتكون بليزنت، يعني ما فيها مشكلة.
يا
وهذا الافرج تبعها يعني 30 32، احنا اخر سبعة، يعني هذا من اشهر الحر.
صحيح. لا هو هلا الموسم طبيعي انه يكون هيك.
دافي شوي.
يس.
هو
دافي.
عشان التينات خليهم يستوين التين.
ما هذه التين والعنب يعني بده حر. الشهر الجاي
تمام،
ان شاء الله.
ممتاز. بتحبوا نبدأ؟ Shall we start?
Yes,
As people comes, we will
yes,
continue.
yes, please proceed.
All right. So first of all, thank you again for having you today here. I think more people will come as we start and join. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad, for joining us today. It is my pleasure and an honor really to work with you and to discuss more about what you're doing. I think this event, which is that 3 days, what you're doing is really supporting the entrepreneurs ecosystem. So I will leave the floor to you. You just tell us about who you are, what you're doing, and any information you can share with us. Then we can open the floor for any question.
Of course, of course. First, thank you for having me today. I'm a big fan of your videos and webinars, and it's very interesting how the ecosystem in our region is evolving, basically, where we're seeing more diverse studios, accelerators, more vertical specific accelerators, more incubators and more VC firms, and of course, more beautiful events like this one. My name is Mohd Santarissy. I'm running a venture studio. I'll talk a bit about what is a venture studio and what do we do. I've been doing this for about three years now, three-ish years. And I'm also a regional director for the Founder Institute, which I'll also talk about. The Founder Institute is the world's largest pre-seed accelerator. And now we operate in Jordan, Beirut, and Iraq, basically. This is about me. I can dig a bit about what is the startup studio concept, what is FI, unless you have specific questions that you'd like to start with.
No, for me, the reason for bringing you here really to share how what you're doing is really supporting the entrepreneur ecosystem. So if you can highlight more about the Founders Institute, what is this Founder Institute? Not everyone is really familiar. How does it support startups, people who has small ideas, they want to make it big? What exactly is the Founder Institute?
Okay, let me start to tell you. Okay, Founder Institute is basically, as I just mentioned, it's the world's largest pre-seed accelerator. We're now available and we operate in more than 225 cities across the globe. We built a portfolio of more than 5,000 companies who raised more than $1 billion and valued at $30 billion across the 6 continents, basically. How do we help Founder Institute? Okay, so if you have an idea for a startup, when we say a startup, we're talking about a technology startup, either a tech core startup or mainly it's technology enabled, right? So to give you an example, to give you some context about this, if you have an idea, you want to accelerate this idea, you want to basically build it and spin it out to the market, right? So you either go to an incubator, you either basically raise a fund from friends and family, which is usually a small size check. And then after that, you go and join an accelerator like the very well-known accelerators across the globe, maybe YC, Y Combinator, Techstars are based also in UAE and in the Gulf region. And also 500 startups are also based in Saudi Arabia, and they operate across the GCC. So assuming that we have 2,000 startups, let's say in Dubai, okay? They have 2,000 founders, they have this brilliant idea they want to pursue and they want to make it happen, right? So they apply to one of these programs that I just mentioned. And usually it's about 5%, maybe if I'm optimistic, it's 10% of these 2,000 people who applied have a really viable idea, a good market size, or maybe a valid team also. So if we take 5% out of this, we're talking about maybe like 100 or 200 startups. If we go to 10%, out of these 100 startups, Techstars cannot take 100 startups into their program, right? So they try to select maybe 12 up to 20 tops of these vetted, well-defined, good teams, good ideas, and so on. So what happens to the rest of the 100, right? What happens to the rest of these 80 people or 80 startups who have brilliant ideas that they want to pursue? They basically join the Founder Institute. How do we help founders in the Founder Institute? We establish, I can say this, we have one of the main things that differentiates Founder Institute is we have a proven structured process. That's number one. This basically a structured process came from a lot of best practices in Silicon Valley. The people who put together the curriculum of the Founder Institute are the prominents who created all of the softwares and the mobile applications and platforms that we use nowadays, or basically who built methodologies like the lean concept, right? Like Eric Ries, Jason Calacanis, and so on. That's one thing that we offer startups. Another thing is we at the Founder Institute have the largest global network of mentors across the globe, of investors and fellow entrepreneurs, and anyone who graduates or finish the program gets access to this pool of like-minded people. The other thing that we offer, since we are operating in the region, we also offer local support, whether from the directors or from the local mentors in each country that I just mentioned. One of maybe the main things that I saw and also touched from founders who joined us in the last cohort, that it's one of the most challenging programs out there. To add some color to this, we received more than 400 applications who applied to the previous cohort. Only 6 companies graduated the program. So it's not an easy journey. It's basically, we call it a company building process. It's not theoretical. If you enter the program, you have to finish the program basically with an established company, a registered company actually, with the right team, and maybe some maybe an MVP or the first product. This is it about basically the Founder Institute in general. What I want to also, we at Relatively Fund, the studio that I told you about we're running. A studio is not an accelerator, is not an incubator, and it's not a VC firm. We're more of an institutional co-founder. Why venture studios exist, or why do we? What is the problem that we're solving, right? When I'm trying to give an analogy of problem solution concept. All of the founders across the globe, and every story that we heard, they face these common set of challenges to define and validate that there is a problem. What is the value proposition that am I offering? Is this value proposition or is this solution can fix this problem that we're facing today? Another problem is to build the product. And when I say build a product, anyone can build a product, right? But to build the right product for the right audience, that's another challenge. To recruit and find the right talent that fits you as a team, which is also one of the main reasons that startups fail, is the talent and the people around you. When I say talents, I'm not talking about only hires. I'm also talking about co-founders, partners, even investors. This is one of the main problems. And finally, of course, capital. That's one of the things that also, and especially in our region, we see this a lot, that we have brilliant ideas, brilliant founders, but they can't really raise capital. At least in the previous, or in the last 7 years, things are now changing. The region is becoming more aware. There's a lot of people who are interested in the region, and because the opportunity is so big, actually. I always tell my friends, and I always tell everyone, that if you have an idea, excuse me, don't just go and build this idea in North America, that like a lot of founders from our region, and unfortunately, build it and operate it in the region, because the opportunity is big. And we've seen this, I mean, Uber acquiring Kareem, Amazon acquiring Sue, and we're seeing this a lot more and more. The venture studio or the startup studio concept has been successful so far. One of the biggest, actually the biggest software IPO came out of a studio. They're called Snowflakes. You can check this out, guys. Moderna, by the way, the vaccine came out of a studio. Clubhouse came out of a studio. Dollar Shave Club, and I can name a list, a big list. For us so far in Relatively Fund, we've been, I would say, I can call it Fund One. It was our own MVP. We built 4 startups. One of them was killed. Another one was actually put on hold. The other one was put on hold due to COVID, because this startup was solving a problem in the F&B and hospitality sector, and COVID, we all know that hit this hard. 2 startups also are now running and generating revenue, and they're about to close their seed round.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, now, while you were mentioning, you said you started with the 400, and the people who at the end managed to get their only 6. What do you think? Why people who get excited and that they're not able to continue, or I think you shortlist them, you selected a group, then the one graduated only 6.
Yes.
Why?
You know, from my opinion, or from my perspective, and being hands-on with these people, with these founders, I believe that I mean, a lot of people say you have a bad idea, or maybe it's not the right time, or the market is not big enough, and so on. All of these reasons to fail, I don't think that they are the reason. I think the main reason is people. So if you have the right people, again, if you have the right passion, you can find the right idea. If you have the right people, you can find the right market. If you have the right people, you can find the right product. It's not as much as the Founder Institute or any other program out there can help there is no blueprint to build a successful business. If there's one, please hit me up. Because again, it's if there is a blueprint, everyone would actually follow this blueprint. It's more of, there are of course methodologies, there are steps, there is a process. I'm not saying there is not a process that exists out there, but it's more of you, if you want to build this, and how can you overcome these obstacles. Because again, building a venture is not like building a business. I can just now go open a supermarket, a chain of supermarkets, and things will go, definitely there will be ups and downs. But if you're building a venture, if you're building a startup, especially a technology startup, it's an uphill journey. It's not something easy. There will be huge obstacles, but at the end of the day, the win is big, right? Because we've seen a lot of startups who started today, and 6 months later, they were valued at $30 or $50 million. You can't really see this in a traditional business at the end of the day, because building an application like Facebook, they use it from, again, we all know this. We use Facebook, we use Uber, we use all of these technology companies that they were startups at some point. So going back to your question, I believe the main reason is people. I mean, this is my own philosophy, at least. If you don't really have the drive, you can't really find the answers. Because they're out there, whether they're out there in the Founder Institute or in Relatively Fund or in Techstars or any other, or in Google actually. You need to have the right mindset to pursue these answers at the end of the day.
Very good, very good. Maybe last question for me, then we'll open the floor for others to ask. What is the role of the mentor advisor in this, in the Founder Institute or Relatively Fund Studio?
So I'm going to answer this in a different way. Having a mentor or an advisor in your startup is crucial. Why it is crucial? Because at the end of the day, I might be an expert in A and B and C, but I'm not an expert in everything, right? At the end of the day, maybe I'm an expert in sales, maybe I'm an expert in design, maybe I'm an expert in validation, but at the end of the day, I need someone who can direct me, or at least guide me, how to find the right product. What is the right tech stack for this specific technology? How to tackle this specific market? What is the right visuals and imagery that I should use in my communication? How to approach investors? And at the end of the day, no one can cover all that. So having a mentor or an advisor is the main pillar, I believe, in every startup. But the problem that I see a lot of founders do is mentors and advisors and investors, they do their own due diligence on the founder, but the founder does not do that, right? So if I see an investor who's going to invest, let's say $1 million in my startup, I'll just take it in a heartbeat. I don't really do my own due diligence on this investor. A lot of startups, by the way, because they raised from X, they failed, although they raised. But if they did raise from another investor who is more hands-on, who is there to support them, or a mentor, because again, if you have an advisor on your board, at the end of the day, you're sharing something of your company. So why share this from your company or give this equity to someone who's not going to add value just because it's Mohd Santarissy or X? So what I want to advise founders is to also do their own due diligence on a mentor, advisor, or even an investor.
All right, very good, very good. Thank you, Mohammed. So anyone like to ask Mahmoud, Mustafa, Tarek?
Yeah, please, let's make this interactive and shoot whatever you guys have.
Any questions you have in your mind?
Yes, I would like to ask a question. Hello, everyone. This is Mustafa. Muhammad, thank you for attending this session today. My question is about how to influence an investor. I believe there is like a business plan we have to prepare to the investor that to see or to recognize the value from what our idea will achieve in the future. So there are different ways to prepare those presentations or business plans for the investors, but still, because as a co-founder or founders, we don't have this experience to prepare it in a way that influence, like make it a storytelling or whatever, or showing the value, future value from our product that we manufacture. So what do you advise? Is there any, do we go to a company like your company to support us in building this business plan for the investors? Or we can learn it by ourselves as co-founders or founders and we build it? So I would like to hear from your experience. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question, Mustafa. Let me say this, and again, there's a lot of schools out there. That does not mean that what I'm going to say is the right and only the right path or the right approach. But from my experience, I'll share from my experience, if an investor asks for a business plan, there is a big red flag, because startups cannot really create a business plan. Okay, why? Because they cannot predict the future. A right investor would ask for a pitch deck, and there is a standard sequence for any pitch deck where you have the cover, you have your own logo and slogan and so on. You start with the problem, so everyone, as a narrative, everyone would understand what is this. Okay, let me give you, I don't want to take a lot of time, Muhammad, if this is, so
okay.
you can stop me at any time, okay? I want to tell you about a problem. Okay, hello, my name is Mohd Santarissy. My company is called Coffee on Wheels, okay? Now, you guys as investors now listening to me, you don't really understand what is Coffee on Wheels, right? So maybe if I add a slogan, by the way, I'm just improvising, okay? So excuse any flops out there. The slogan is delivering coffee everywhere, okay, or whatever it is. So I have some sort, for you as an audience, you have some sort of an understanding. This might be A or B, but it's not going to mean C, right? And I start with the main slide is the problem slide. The problem slide will show that a lot of people, let's say, of course, this should be as minimal as possible. No need to add a lot of text. Maybe a couple of visual aids out there, and three, 4 bullet points would be perfect. Bullet point number one is, say, a lot of people would like to drink coffee at work. The second one is they can't really order coffee and receive it hot. Or if I'm ordering something cold, being in Dubai or actually in our region, I'll receive it, the ice will melt and so on. Another problem is A and B and C. And then you go, so now for me as an audience, I understand that these are problems. And these problems, by the way, they need to be not questionable. So I want to relate that to this problem. That's number one. Number two, I want to believe that this problem is a problem, right? And then you go to slide number 3, which is the solution. Now, Coffee on Wheels is, etc., is a company that delivers coffee to your office or home, just the way you take it from Starbucks or whatever. And based on that, now I understand that there is a problem and there is a solution. After that, of course, you need to go to the team. Who is the team who's going to solve this problem? I need to understand, is a team who's going to create this mobile application to order coffee from different coffee outlets out there, is capable enough to do this, or their experience is in basically healthcare? Because I do understand that you have a great experience in healthcare, but you don't really understand this concept, whether you don't understand technology or you don't understand retail, right? Or F&B. And then you go to the competitive landscape. Who are you competing with? And every startup says that I'm the only person who's doing this. it's a red flag again. Because if no one is doing this, because there is no market for this. You need the more competitors you have, by the way, the better. Now you can basically play with your value proposition, add some benefits for your own users, and based on that you can acquire a bigger chunk of the market. And of course you go to, if I want to go through the slides very quickly, you need to have a go-to-market plan. How are you going to penetrate the market? If you are raising a fund, what is this fund will be allocated for? Is it allocated for to build the technology, or is it allocated for marketing purposes or for salaries, which is also another red flag. So if I want to answer this, to give you the short answer, this is something that the co-founders should do, the founders of this company should do. You don't really need to outsource this to anyone, because if you outsource a pitch deck or even a business plan that I'm not a big fan of, you don't really understand your business. Yeah, so and they always say this: if you can't explain your business in one sentence, you don't really understand it. You don't really understand what you are proposing. And there's a lot of methodologies, by the way. You can look up fi.co. There's a one sentence pitch exercise to help you pitch your idea, whatever it is, in a one simple pitch format. It's called the Mad Libs format. It's very well known globally. I don't know if I answered your question, Mustafa, or not, but this is one of the main things to start looking at.
Yes, thank you, Mohammed. And I agree with you that founders, they should understand their idea perfectly. But I was asking about the steps, what the investor would like to see, and you make it clear for me. Thank you for this. I have a question that all of us, I think, if we have an idea and we are hesitating to share it for anyone because of the copyright or somebody to steal the idea. So if there is a way, a procedure that we have to follow to, once we share this idea with an investor, I don't want that investor to take my idea and apply it somewhere by himself. You understand me? So I want to protect my idea. Is there any procedure to follow and apply?
Okay. There's a lot of ways. None of them is recommended. Actually, all of them are basically telling me or any other investor that this is not a founder I want to invest in. You can sign an NDA. The answer is you can sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, with anyone you're sharing the idea with. However, the more, by the way, you share your idea, the better for you. You are shaping your idea better, number one. Number two, you're getting feedback on this idea. By the way, part of the program in Founder Institute that you need to talk to at least 100 people who are a target customer to tell them your idea, people that you don't know, okay? So, and trust me when I say this, no investor out there wants to build their own ideas. They are investing in you. They want you to build your idea, and they want the upside, the return on their investment. So if they invest $1 million, they have the $1 million to build this startup. But they don't really want to build it. They want to invest in you. Here's $1 million. Come back to me in 3 years with a return of 5 million or 10 or whatever the multiples going to be on your startup. So if you want my recommendation, you need to share your idea. The more you share it, the better actually this idea come about. And you'll see that there's a lot of missing pieces out there. The more you share your idea, the more you close the gap and find answers for these questions or gaps you have.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Excellent, thank you.
Because of the timing. Now, Mohammed, last question: if people want to reach you, how they can reach you? I mean, if anyone has any idea, any questions, are you okay if I shared with the group your contact details?
Of course, I'll share now my LinkedIn in the chat, and of course, anyone, I would love to connect with you all. If I can add value in anything, I would be more than happy. Yeah, of course.
Very good.
Here's my LinkedIn.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Mohammed. Thanks again for your time. and looking forward to work together. And I believe the knowledge you shared with everyone was really good. At least they know that there is a resource that people can use. At least it will help them to work on their ideas with the support like Founder Institute or Relatively Fund. Yeah.
Of
Thanks
course,
again.
of course. Thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure. And everyone on the call, if you have any questions, would like to do a follow-up call, I'm here and ready to help with whatever I can do, of course.
Thank you. Thank you again, Mohammed, for your time. And now we will move to the second session about how we'll be teaching people. So you can stay if you have, I know you're busy, maybe you want to go for other things, but thanks again for your time, Mohammed. Appreciate
Thank you
that.
for having me.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, very good. So today, let's continue. I want to share something here. All right. Okay, so today we will continue our discussion for yesterday, what we had discussed. So to continue, I'm using two laptops here. All right, if you remember, the last thing we ask you to do to take actions is to make a list of your business ideas. We, how they say, covered how you can come up with a business idea, what is the recipe, what things you need to watch out, and so on. And then we ask, pick up your business top business idea from the list that excites you and have a passion. Then apply positioning your business idea and make it remarkable. I assume everyone already had managed to work on his idea, or at least he has something in his mind regarding his business idea. So does anyone have any questions before we continue today? All right. So today, what is important is how to get rid of what is holding you back. Now, what you will find out once you select your idea, maybe you have many ideas, sometimes you find out that you're not executing, you're not acting. So you need really to find out what is really holding me back from doing the work that I should be doing. And these are the challenges that you will be facing. So what I will be touching today is there is a study which is, I don't want to freak out everyone or make you terrified about working in a startups, but there is a nice study called Are Entrepreneurs Touched with Fires? Because what happens in your journey, you will find out that you are lonely, you need to take decisions, you're reluctant, you're under pressure, you're under stress, and so on. So that Dr. Michael Freeman, he did something, and before covering that one, this is how it happens with many entrepreneurs, especially when they start up their business and they have big ideas. This guy, his name is Aaron Swartz, right? This guy, if you know him or heard about him, he's an American computer programmer, writer, political organizer, and internet hacktivist. He's a co-founder for Reddit. Maybe everyone heard about Reddit. However, unfortunately, this guy, he suicide. He killed himself. And he said, this is what he was saying about it, in a way that I have a lot of illness. I don't talk about it much for a variety of reasons. People sometimes, because they're working by themselves, they're afraid to share it. Hey, I'm struggling, I need help. All right, I feel ashamed to have illness. It sounds absurd, but there is still an enormous stigma around being sick. I don't want to use being ill as an excuse, although I sometimes wonder how much more productive I'd be if I wasn't so sick. So this guy, this is what happens. And now, why I'm bringing up this idea, because you need to understand while you're doing on your business, you will face challenges. So how can I really get my journey in control, what things I need to do to help me have it a smooth startup, really accelerating my business. So this is what the study had touched. He said these are the key findings. First of all, entrepreneurs create a majority of new jobs. Now, it was mentioned the self-reported mental health concerns were present across 72% of startups in this sample. They did a study, and 72 of them, they have a mental health concern. 49% have one or more lifetime mental health condition. 32% reported having two or more. 18% having 3. Now, what are these issues that they're finding out? That 30% of those people, they have a depression, or 29% they have this ADHD, which is attention deficit. He cannot concentrate much. Then 12% they have substance use. They cannot control taking, using the legal or illegal drug for medication. You will find them, they're taking that much. Or they've been diagnosed with bipolar. So I was thinking about this because it really struck me when I was working with the startups. How for me, I can really help people to avoid not to reach to that one. I'm not saying I am a psychiatry or I will be, because if one of my clients, he's on the extreme, I will tell him this is beyond me. For me, I want to really do like a preventive for what these people can avoid not to reach to that point. And this is how I do it in my community, by teaching the people to understand how to use their mind really to help them to get the result they're looking for. So now, to come to our topic today, you will find out if you want to achieve goal, there are 2 things you need to understand. It's so simple but important. Where you are and where you are going. You don't need any more than that one. Where you are today and where you're heading. You know, you want to have this business idea, this is startup, blah, blah. So it's clear and so simple and so obvious. However, the questions why people, they don't do it. They think people that the problem is really, and people are really so many stuck. They think the problem is in their goal. And trust me, it's not in your goal, in your business idea. The problem is where you are right now. You will find out that you have many business ideas, but you're not executing. So why I'm not able, why I need to understand where I am is the problem. There is something called, we call it a paradigm, which is, I will explain what is the paradigm. And this is, if you want to really understand why you're getting the results you're getting, and what is the root cause of creating the results you're having, you need to understand this word paradigm. So what is paradigm? Paradigm, and where you need really to have a paradigm shift. So paradigm simply is your multitude are a multitude of habits. It's other people's habits. You will see that you're doing certain things without thinking, in a way that you are doing things in an autopilot. For example, having a certain type of food. You don't know why you're eating this, but because your family, your parents, you're eating certain food. Or if you believe that, like I was raised in a family that my father was all the time doing a hard work. But is it the right thing or not? But this is a paradigm belief. I think if I want to get results, I need to work very hard to get it. However, this is not right, but this is how I learned and get it from the family, and so on. So the paradigm is your mental program. These mental programs that you have it about yourself, I call them the habits and the belief system, are really getting you the results you're getting today. In a way, if you want to get different results, you need to change your habits. We call it a shift your paradigm. Create a habits that really help you to get the results you want to get. So paradigm I will give you some example, like time management. This is a belief that I need to manage my time. However, it is not managing, this is a belief. Many people, they said, hey, I'm not able to manage my time. And for me, it is not a time management. It is managing activities. You need really to manage your activities rather than time and management. And this could be a restriction for people. Another one, self-confidence. This is like a paradigm. You don't trust when you stand up in front, let's say, of investors or people, you don't feel confident from inside. And this is, we call it a paradigm, because that one is really holding you back from doing many things. If you're lacking confidence, that means you're not getting the results you want. So I need to work to build that confidence. Like also low self-esteem. Procrastination. Many people have. They urgent things, they push it till the last and then they do it. And it's a habit. He's used to it. It is working with him. But again, this is when you start your business and growing your business, you don't want to end up with procrastination. You need to start changing it. Then also controlled by the surrounding. And this is important. Many people, for example, for us, that they are reacting. So whatever happens to us yesterday, to us, surround us, you see people are reactive. They don't think, and whatever, if things goes bad, you feel him depressed. And if he is not able to do many things, he's overwhelmed, have an anxiety and so on, because he's living. Like the person we mentioned earlier who got suicide. I mean, he was really affected by the surroundings, you know, and living by the surrounding, what is going outside, and you're not controlling it, like the surroundings is controlling you, so you become a play of the surroundings, so people can push you here and there. And this is one of the paradigms people need to watch out. Also, other people opinion. I know people, they'd like to see what other people opinion about them. Do they like them? They don't like them. And it is very important. Like you see many in the social media. He put a video or a post, then there's no likes. He got frustrated. Why people don't like my post, and so on. So these are some types of paradigm. Also, we will be discussing tomorrow like the decision making. Decision making is what is your habits and beliefs about decision makings. How do you take that one? If you have a certain habits to take that decisions, that means it will be maybe sometimes holding you back from what you're doing. So when we come again about understanding what is holding you back, let's say now you came up with a business idea and you want to start working, but you're not taking actions. So why? What is holding you back? You need to understand and identify. And this is when I talk about the mindset. You will find out the more you dig and understand your mind, how it functions and how it can help you or it can limit you, it is really important. Some other paradigms, we say it, your paradigms have enormous influence over you. About the ability to earn money, your perception, how you look on things, use of time, creativity, effectiveness, productivity, self-image, and logic. So it goes for everything. So now you look on yourself. And this is why it is important to understand yourself and why you're getting the results you're getting. Let's say you know that if I can change one habit, and this is, we call it the paradigm, my results will be start changing. If I can develop a habit of taking daily actions for my business idea, but I'm not. Currently, I look on myself or I'm not doing whatever is needed. Assume that you find, okay, this is a problem. If I can create a new habit and start helping me to take on a daily actions, whatever is around me, then you're altering and you start getting the results you want. So how are your results created. This is important, so easy and simple. Now, this is the problem. The problem, we don't understand sometimes how the results are really created. Individuals are daily involved in activities that are producing results that they don't particularly want. You do things, let's say like people, simple examples, they want to do a diet. They want to reduce their weight and so on. And he knows that he should not eat this food, he should not eat that sweet and so on. However, they keep doing it. So these are people, you're producing results that you don't want. You will find, for example, some salespeople complaining that they are having difficulty selling, yet ignoring the non-sales procedure. There is different sales practices that if you follow them, you will get the results, but still you're not doing it. You'll find people who are grossly overweight and that want to lose weight and yet continually to eat food that just packs more pounds. Also, you will find people smoking who would absolutely love to stop it, and yet every time you look, they are lighting up another cigarette. I mean, sometimes you get frustrated. Why people, they know that what they're doing is wrong, however, they continue. Because simply this is their paradigm. This is how these habits, they do it on autopilot without thinking. Yes, these people all know how to do better, yet they are not doing it, and they don't know why. Many people, they don't know why they're doing what they're doing. So let's say people also take courses in the college. So they gather information, but this information, they're not using it. Like a professor in the college, he's teaching economy, so that he knows, understand how the money works. However, he's hardly have a car to buy in. So why? It's not the knowledge. It's not the knowledge. Knowledge is helping you to raise your awareness, but using that knowledge is the one that creates the results. So simply, results automatically improve when people begin thinking. So if you look on those three wheels, simply these are the results you're seeing. Now these are the behaviors. However, the root cause of creating the results is not your behavior, it is your paradigm. It is your, I call it, it's like your operating system. You do things without thinking. It's like having certain habits, you do it without thinking. If you want to go from your home to work, sometimes you reach and you don't know how did you reach, because there is something in your mind is operating this one. We call it, this is your, in the subconscious mind. So the paradigm is the one. And this is an amazing, this is a study been done that 96% of our results are created by our paradigm, by our habits. We do things we don't think much about it because they're running by themselves, and they're creating 96% of my results. So your paradigm is controlling your behavior produces the results you want. So you can see how it is. Now, if you understand yourself and what are the habits really, if I can change and develop, my results will be changing. I'll give you an example, like people who is like to spend more time on social media, and they sleep late, and so this is a habit. Now they know if they can sleep early, spend some time on books, wake up early, and start planning their day, they will get a different results. So this is how we start focusing, okay, what things I need to develop, what is this belief system I need to develop in order to get a different results. So nothing will happen with your results until you change your paradigm. So if you have a brilliant idea and you're not executing, this is not something about your idea. This is something inside you you have something that is holding you back. And this is why I said always look inside. What is really holding me back from doing the things that I'm supposed? What things I can really change in my daily habits or beliefs that can get me the results I want. Now, I will talk about, this is also one of the paradigm. I will, and this is a belief, is your concept about yourself, the self-image. Now, if I ask some of you, and or maybe you can ask that, okay, write down about your business idea. You will find out that you write down, and at the same time, if someone is really he is reluctant, so he's talking to himself in a way that it is good, it is bad, it is good, it is bad. Yeah, I can do this, but I cannot do this. So this is why you need to start watching what you are telling yourself. This self-image is a key, really, that you need to spend time to develop the right image. For an entrepreneur, a startup, you need to start seeing yourself differently. In a way, you're running your own business, you are a successful person. And people might say, come on, self-image does have an impact. Absolutely. This is a story, it was, I think, in the 1940. There was and this is where the reason it comes about, that our concept about ourselves is the one that is driving what we are doing. There was a teenager about 15 years old. She starts seeing herself whenever she looks on the mirror that she's fat. Although people look at her, she's so skinny. That teenager, indirectly, because of the self-image and her belief systems, she stopped eating. Normally in her age, the girls have a weight of 60 kilograms. That teenager has lost about 20 kilos. So in a way, her weight now become 40. So her parents immediately rush her to the hospital because she's seeing herself whenever she looks on the mirror that she's fat. This is how she looks at it. A reporter, when he heard her story, he said, no, this is absolutely wrong. I don't think that this is the right thing. So he went and visited that teenager, and when he looked at her, he was shocked. She was so skinny, and he couldn't believe what she's doing to herself. So he asked her, can you stand up and look on the mirror and tell me what you are seeing? She said, when she looked on the mirror, she said, I'm so fat that I don't want to eat anything. You're totally shocked about how you can see yourself. So if you're seeing yourself in a not confident person, you need to build that in your self-image. And this is part of the paradigm, how you build your own self-image in a way that really serves you. Another thing I want to talk about, this is a concept because it's all about the mind and how does the mind works. This is, if you look on that big circle, this is the mind. It's just, how they say, a diagram just to explain how the mind and your body is the instrument of the mind. Because your body doesn't do anything unless it is coming from the mind. So how this thing works, there was also another thing about the child's self-image. If a child is, he sees himself, he has a poor grade, and maybe if you have a family, you have kids, you can see it, because I'm testing this also with my kids to understand how he sees himself and how does it work. So if there's a child seeing himself poor grade, that I'm an average, below average, you cannot change him. So what that family, they said, they told that child, you have to stay at home. They brought to him some teachers to help him to spend and start, getting the grades. So what he did, if you notice, that his grade start going up, which is really good. That means he's getting the change he wanted. Then his family, parents, they were really excited about what he was achieving. So they left, they said, now this is the right thing. So we don't have to worry much because our kids now is an A student. However, that child, he doesn't believe that he is an A student. He believes that he's still having an average score. So what you will see, that self-image start adjusting by itself, that automatically this child never change their self-image. You will see him after a while, he will go back and to his old results. This concept, I have one of my daughters, she's good, high score at school. And always she has used to, expecting me every time I get her a present because of getting a high score. And knowing, understanding this thing, so I was really watching what she was doing. So one time she came to me and said, Dad, you did not brought to me any gift. I said, why? She said, hey, I got a high grade at school. I said, no, I'm not going to do. You will get it either way, with a gift or without. She said, okay, I don't want to study. I will leave it, and I don't care about the high grades. But knowing what I know, she cannot live with a different self-image. She's always seeing her an A student. Within 3 days, she were back to do the study and forget about it, because this is how she's seeing herself. She cannot see herself with a poor grade. So this is some part of the paradigm that you need really to understand yourself about it. Now, one of the questions we're asking about the fear. Also, having the fear is something you will always face, and taking decisions and executing on your ideas, getting funds, and so on. Now, here, if you really overcome that fear, it is really a freedom for you. So let me explain to you what happens, the process when maybe Mahmoud, he asked about that thing. So I will explain to you what are the steps, what happens to us. We need to understand the mind is two parts. We call it the upper part. This is the thinking mind, and this is our beliefs and habits, our paradigm. So you will find out yourself that like if you still did not want to leave your job, you see yourself as bondage, have a bondage with that idea. I'm happy with my job, I don't want to leave it, and so on. So, and you will see, okay, if you're happy in your job, you will not do anything different because you have a bondage to that idea. Then what happens, let's say, and you will see all your thoughts is about get in line to what you believe and your habits. So don't expect you will get a Y results. No, you will get always the same results all the time. And this is what happens with people when they want to try something. They have a bondage. They cannot do it. They cannot leave the job. They never work other than having a job. Let's say someone came to them and convinced them, hey, let's start up our own business, right? So this is an outside idea. I come to you, hey, let's do it. Let's think about it. So it's an outside idea. So you get excited in your mind. But however, what is really controlling your results is not these ideas. You will find out that you still have bondage to the old idea that I'm happy in my job, I don't want to leave it. Now, what happens really with many people? So for example, I talk to him, discuss about it, and trying to convince him that, hey, this is a brilliant idea to start your own business. So what will happen? This guy, he has a Y idea, a new idea, and he try really to implement it. He wanna do that part. So what you will see inside you, which is, we call it the subconscious mind, that there is two ideas fighting the same time. The X idea, stay in the job, it is secure, it is really good. The Y idea, yeah, I can get freedom, I can do whatever I want, blah, blah. So you will see there is a fight between both. Now, will be able to fight? You will see you're moving ahead, or and at the same time you're moving forward. You are reluctant. What many people happens with them, sorry, that some of them, they're not able really to overcome the fear. So they will be back to their own idea. They said, forget it, I don't want to start my business, I'm okay. You will see some people, they have the money, they want to buy a house, they have the money, all right, so they don't have any issues. But because they're fighting inside them, no, maybe I will delay it. That fight all the time. If you don't understand what is happening inside you, you will find out that you will leave, you will not pay any deposit for the house and forget about it, although you have the money. And this is about the fear. However, if you insist, and this is the process I teach people, how you need really to overcome that terror barrier to make you really easy to get to that freedom you want. So this is in a nutshell how is really how they say, the terror barrier that many people are reluctant. I know many startups, they want to do it, many ideas, they have brilliant ideas, but they're not executing, and simply because he's afraid. I mean, he's not able to overcome that internal fears within him. So this is the last slide. How can you what is holding you back? And I want you to be honest with you. Make a list of the habits you need to form to move towards your goal. Be honest. Okay, you have an idea, you want to execute that idea. Okay, what things, if I can really change, can really help me to move ahead? Maybe I want to start, how they say, having a daily plan, or have a daily actions. Because if I take actions every day, then I'll start getting the what's called the results towards my business idea. Then focus on creating new habits that are positive, which is important. And then you pick one or two habits that you will focus on. And this is how you start really seeing the ideas that will really help you to move ahead. So this is all about today. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Just one small comment. When you talk about your own habits, normally this is your baseline, and you see it as the correct thing. I think it's, in the best way, you need an outsider to look at you and guide you. But for yourself, this is the right thing that you've been doing all your life. So it will be hard for you to really find out that you need to change these habits. What do you think?
You're right. This is why having a mentor or a coach can really give you and help you to find what are the habits. One of the exercises I give people to find what habits they need to change is simply, I ask them, you write down the things, the situation that you're not happy about it. So in order to find what are the habits I need to change. Let's say I give an example about that I spend, this is just an example, that I sleep late, I spend all the time on TV, social media, when I go to work I go tired, I don't know what I do, and so on. So you're not happy about it. Now this is, so you write down, I call these, there's some non-productive activities that is not helping you. You're wasting time on social media, you sleep late, you don't plan your day, you finish the day without being productive. These are non-productive. So then I ask them, write down the same situation in a way that you really like. So the way I like, I will spend the night reading. I don't want to spend it on social media. I will plan my day, the next day before going to sleep, so I know exactly what I want to do. Then when I wake up in the morning, I go to do some workouts. So these are the new habits that you need to develop. So this is how you find out the gap, what things, what habits I need to change. So I hope I answer your question, but you're right. Sometimes you need an external help that people can guide you and tell you. And this is how I do with the people, because sometimes it is our belief system. I'll give you an example, Mahmoud. One of the belief system I used to have, but that's good. That if I want to find a job, I need to be fit for that job. This is some people that they don't apply. When they look on what is posted in that job, they read it, oh, I don't want to apply it. For me, I have a different belief, and in a way, and this is what I teach also my kids, don't make decisions on behalf of others. Let them make the decisions. In a way, you apply and then wait the feedback from them. Many people know they make the decisions ahead of time. And it's a habit, because this is how we raise to. We read things, we make decisions, and we don't proceed. Although, I mean, when we make decisions, it could be wrong, our understanding of the situation. So sometimes small tweaks on your habits or belief system can get you a different results.
Very true. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tariq, Mustafa, you would like to ask any question?
Thank you, Muhammad. No, inshallah, tomorrow I have some questions we can discuss.
All right. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. If Tariq, you don't have any questions, so let's meet tomorrow, same time. Tomorrow I will be inviting someone who has already a startup, so also you can have a chat and discussion with him. Then we will continue about what I'm mentioning about this. We'll be talking about the persistence and decisions, which are really key for your continuing to do the business. So thank you again for today, and looking forward to see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.